Hello guys and welcome to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Devpro video. This video is going to be slightly different from the videos I already uploaded to my channel, because in this video I'm actually going to narrate over a couple of battles and I'm going to review the deck I was using in these battles. So as you see, I'm going to feature a narrated Devpro Duel with my Lightsworn deck, and I must say that Lightsworn is my favorite archetype, but I haven't been able to use it yet due to the fact that in this current metagame against dragons it's really not that good. Don't mention, but it can sometimes be a surprise, but most of the cases, in 90% of the cases, it's not going to do anything against the current dragon metagame. So I was wondering, what if some new support comes out? And a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago, I'm sure it was quite a while, some new cards were released for the Lightsworn archetype. And these were actually these cards. We had Raiden Lightsworn Assailant, we have Minerva Lightsworn Maiden, and we have the boss monster Michael Lightsworn Lord. I think that you guys might have heard of these cards before. If you have and you know what they do, you can just skip a few minutes and go to the first battle, which is a battle against Chaos Dragons. But if you like to watch me narrate a small tiny bit about these cards, then just keep hanging on for a couple of seconds. So Raiden Lightsworn Assailant is your card trooper of this deck. I like it in 3 because it mills 2 cards. If there is a Lightsworn card between those cards, it gets an additional 200 attack boost. And at the end phase it mills another 2 cards. So basically this card mills 4. If you're not getting Fiendish Chain, of course, then you mill nothing. But at the end this will mill 4 cards, and that is just awesome because you want your Lightsworn cards to be in the grave, and this card helps you a lot with it. Minerva is something different. I only run it in 1 because I sometimes use it to make a rank 6 play, but even in this extra deck I don't even I use it for a rank 3 play, but for a level 6 synchro summon I don't usually tend to use it. But yeah, it's a good card. It helps me mill the deck as well, because it's a fodder that likes to be discarded with both Solar Research, Monster Reincarnation, but also with this card, which is probably the MVP of the deck, Beckoning Light. Because when it's discarded by your hand or from the top of your deck, you can mill another card from your deck. So this is really a good card because you mill so much and you discard so much with Beckoning Light, Solar Recharge and Monster Reincarnation that you can really abuse this to the fullest. The rest of the deck looks pretty standard, I guess. I run my dark monsters because I really want my to bring out my Blackluster Soldier. So I run these guys because usually if things aren't going well I don't have a lot of field presence, and then I really want to get something out on the field, so if my opponent attacks I can bring out this guy. I also have Gorse, which is just too good. Most of the time my field is empty if I don't have any Lightsworn cards on the field, so Gorse is just there to save my butt from time to time. And then we have the Necro Garna. He helps me to keep my monsters on the field and get my milling going. I don't think some other things need to be explained. I run Veiler over the Maxi because of the fact that it can be retrieved with Beckoning Light. I also run the Trap Stun. Usually it gets milled, but if you're able to get it out on a field and you make your big plays, such as summoning Judgment Dragon, and they chain Bottomless or something and you can chain Trap Stun, the game's usually over, because yeah, there is nothing they can do if they can't respond to your Judgment Dragon. Let's go to the extra deck. I run my rank 3s, which is actually Leviair. I use this one because I can abuse it with Michael Lightsworn Lord, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. I use Zenmains for stalling, Hiatus for the M7 play. I also run Paladinamo because yeah, it helps to sometimes one-hit KO, and yeah, some other staple cards. But the most surprise, I guess, for you guys is this Michael Lightsworn's Lord, and this guy is actually so good. It's insane. You can bring him out. It's a level 7, so you can easily bring him out by using Lumina, discard your card, and then bring back a Raiden. Raiden can mill an additional 2 and then go for the synchro, and it's really amazing because if you can get him out, it is your Chaos Sorcerer that can attack. You have to pay 1000 life points for it to banish one card, but you can choose whether you can pick a spell or trap card or a monster card, and that is going to banish that monster or trap or spell card face up. So it also comes in handy that you run Levier, because you can, if you discard from Levier, you can get one banished monster back, so you can also get a monster back from your opponent's side of the field if necessary. So I really like the synergy between these two guys as well. Yeah, I ran him in 2 because I played him in once, and I must say that I missed the second one because you can make these guys so easily just by Lumina and Raiden that it's really insane, so I decided to run 2. It's also a good way to recover life points. Yeah, usually what I do is, if I have multiple copies of one Lightsworn name in my graveyard and Michael Lightsworn Lord is destroyed, I usually take the other copies out of my graveyard, put them back into the deck, and gain 300 life points per card for that. So that is something I like. Judgment Dragon only requires to have 4 Lightsworn monsters with different names in your graveyard, and it doesn't matter how many copies of Raiden, Lila, Wolf, or Lumina you have in your grave. You only need that one name. So if I have multiple copies of those names in my graveyard, I just put them back into my deck and gain some good life points. So that's basically what I do. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. If you have some more questions, you can always post it in the comment section below. Now we're going to continue to the games. I'm going to feature some battles. The first one is against Chaos Dragons. The second battle is against Battling Boxers. The third battle is against Dark World. The fourth battle is a very good game against the Lightsworn player. And game number 5 is against the new meta hype Noble Knight. So please stay tuned for that. Let's continue to the battles. So the first battle is against Chaos Dragons, and this was actually quite an amusing battle. If you look at my hand, you can see that it's quite okay. I don't really like the Lightsworn in your opening hand though, but I have my Raiden and I draw into a Lumina, so that's actually going to be great. I'm going to activate Solar Recharge, discard my Raiden, because that way I'm going to be able to get off a Lumina Raiden combo, but he's going to predict that, go for max C, and since I don't want him to draw that much, I'm just gonna pause my turn, attack over his trooper while he sends out Stragodia. Then I see the Chaos Dragons. First off, he's gonna summon his Light Pulsar Dragon. He's going to activate Lance for some strange reason, probably expecting me to go for maybe a counter trap or something, I'm not really sure. But I'm losing my Lumina, which is not that great. And I see that he's gonna chain another Max C, so I'm not really in a very good position, but I'm able to get my Judgment Dragon back with Beckoning Light, and that's already quite a good thing. I'm gonna pay life points, of course, clear the field, and go for a straight 3000 hit points. He's then going to bring out his Light Pulsar Dragon again next turn, and due to Lance, he's going to be able to attack over my Judgment Dragon. However, I have the Necro Guard now, which is great, and here he makes a move that I did not really understand, because he just goes for Gaia instead of, if he stayed for Photon Bouncer, I wouldn't been able to get off my effect of Judgment Dragon, so which means that I just would have been able, that the only thing I could have done was attack over him. But in the end, I don't think it would have made much of a difference, because I'm just going to spam my field and finish him off. The next game is against Battling Boxers. This was maybe the less good game of all games, but anyway, it just shows how easy this Lightsworn deck can sweep. If you look at my hand in if you look at my opening hand in this battle, you see it's not that great, and it's going to counter my Lila quite easily by using Phoenix Chain, so I won't even get any mills off. And this kind of shows that Lightsworn is a very good deck mid-game and late game, but early game it's really hard to get through. And if your opponent has one hell of a hand, then you won't be able to win the first game. Anyway, I'm just gonna put out my Aaron on the field, and I'm just going to go for a nice mill. I didn't go for Constellar Omega and then Ptolemy, because I really wanted to mill some cards first, and that's what I'm just gonna keep doing. I'm just gonna keep spamming that 1600 attack points and hoping to mill some good cards. such as a wolf maybe, so I can then go for a Mega M7. Anyway, he's just gonna go MST on my face down on my back row, and I'm just gonna activate my beckoning light to get back my Blackluster Soldier. He's gonna have his battling boxer with that armory shield, whatever its name is, on, and I'm not really scared of him. I'm just gonna go for Lumina, go for another Lumina, go for Raiden, bring out my Stardust Dragon, bring out Blackluster Soldier, and now I know I have this game pretty much in the bag, since I'm going to be able to dodge every counter trap he has with my Stardust Dragon's effect. So Blackluster Soldier is going to get off the sweep, and that is a good game for the Battling Boxer guy. Now let's continue to match number 3, Dark Worlds, also one of my favorite archetypes. It's just below Lightsworn, but I really like Dark World as well. My opening hand is pretty okay against a Dark World player. It's not super great, but anyway. I'm just gonna go for Charge of the Light Brigade, get some good mills off. During those mills, I'm just gonna get my wolf out on the field, and I'm going to be able to slash for 2100 damage immediately, so that's great. I have my face down Raikou, so whatever he tries to do, I can counter that. But he's going to be able to Dark Hole, get off his Level Eater, then bring out Stardust, and Stardust is just gonna sweep my field. However, I have Necrogarna. Now that I have some Lightsworn cards in the graveyard, I'm going to be able to discard Raiden with Lumina's effect, get Raiden back, bring out Michael, target his face down, and then attack over Stardust. So this is the combo I was talking about before the battles were going on in this video. I must say I really love this combo, Lumina Raiden, and if they are not going to limit Lumina in the future, then I think this might be a very problematic situation for the opposing players. I think Lightsworn will be really good next format, or whenever the Lightsworn support comes out, of course. Anyway, what I do right now is Michael is sent to the graveyard, and I'm going to put the multiple names of the single cards back into my deck, so I can gain some life points once again. Now what I'm gonna do is just bring out Blackluster Soldier, hoping he does not have Gores, and then I can sweep his field, and he doesn't, so which means that's a good game for me. So the next game is actually going to be against another Lightsworn player, and the reason why I know that I'm on this side and my opponent is on the opposite side is because of the fact that I don't play Celestia. So I'm just gonna bring out my Raiden, mill 2, bring out Stardust, set my face down card, and pass my turn. My opponent is gonna activate Charge of the Light Brigade. He mills his Lumina, which is good, and Minerva, which means that he's going to be able to mill another one. He's gonna get off some Lumina shenanigans by sending Lumina to the graveyard, getting another Lumina, and then he's just gonna go for Levier, and he's gonna kill over my Stardust. So he's gonna get off some mills, and I'm just hoping that I'm gonna draw something good. Charge of the Light Brigade is more than good. I'm just gonna mill my Minerva as well, which means an additional mill. I'm gonna go and activate my Lumina, but he has a Venus Chain, unfortunately. Luckily for me, I can activate the Beckoning Light and draw and use my Blackluster Soldier to get a huge chunk out of his hit points, and unless he draws something good, I'm going to be able to finish this game pretty easily, I guess. So he's gonna get Raiden, he's gonna mill a wolf, so he's very lucky, and he's going to go into his Light End Dragon, it is, I guess, and that is going to attack over my Blackluster. So he's not dead yet. I'm just gonna go for Raiden, mill 2, go into Michael, remove from play his opponent, his Light End Dragon, and attack. He's left with barely 400 life points, so I think this game is in the bag, but he top decks Judgment Dragon, and of course he has enough Lightsworn names in his graveyard to put Judgment Dragon on the field. So that's quite unfortunate for me. He's gonna be able to clear my field, hit me, but he's then just gonna mill 3 cards. Then it's gonna be my turn. I'm gonna activate Reinforcements of the Army in order to bring out my Raiden. Not really good, but I just wanted to mill my deck anyway. I'm gonna set my Raikou, hoping that it will just activate Judgment Dragon's effect, but he actually has that annoying Garorith or whatever it's called, and because of the huge amount of Lightsworn cards in his graveyard, he's gonna get a huge amount of attack. Unless I draw Lumina here, I'm done for, so I don't do it. I'm just gonna mill 2, hopefully I get some good mills, but that doesn't happen. so he's going to be able to attack over my guy, but it's even better, he draws into Celestia, kills off my guy, and he's going to attack for the game. So that was actually a very nice game as well. And this last match I'm going to feature is against Noble Knights, and Noble Knights are the new hype. They are very hot right now, and this is actually a very good game. If the Lightsworn support comes out and the Noble Knight support is complete, we're going to have a very good matchup, and this battle illustrates that, so be sure to enjoy. I'm just gonna set 3, summon my Illumina because I want to get some milling, and he's just gonna reinforcements, go into Meadroad, equip him with Excalibur, gaining 500 life points each standby phase. He's now level 5, and he's gonna send his Caliburn to the his equip spell card, I'm not really sure what the name was, to the graveyard. Get some more shenanigans going because that's what they do. I can't really keep up with the tempo they're using. But I'm just gonna Dark Hole, knowing that Meadrout is not going to be killed due to the Noble Arms effect. I'm gonna have my Lumina, get off another Lumina, and going to wind up Zen mains because I need to stall out a little bit more, otherwise this game is gonna be over really soon. But he's gonna keep using his Noble Arms shenanigans, and he's going to use the new XYZ support as well. So his field is pretty much full, but I really don't. But he doesn't want to attack me, of course, because I have that Zen mains and I can kill anything I want. So he's going to have to time precisely when he's going to attack my Zen mains. Is going to get off some more Noble Arms and more Noble Knight support. Next I'm going to summon my Lumina, get off my Lila, hoping to destroy some Noble Arms spell card, but he has the Bottomless as well, so that's not really good. Now I have 2 targets that are open for an attack, together with Wolf and Lumina, but I'm going to be able to stall him out a little bit more with my Necro Garna, which is fine. But then he's going to use the XYZ effect again to send all the equipped spell cards to the graveyard and then equip them right back so he can abuse their effects as well. I'm just losing life points and he's already at 10,000, so that's not going great. Here I was actually testing Max C in this game, so that's the reason why you see him appear. So this deck slightly differs for the fact that I don't have Effect Failure but Max C in here. I'm going to have Michael, so I think, okay, things are looking good again, but he draws into another pesky Noble Arms, and that's just going to wreck my plans of owning this game. And he's just gonna get back those Noble Arms as they send to the graveyard and such. But I need some life points, and I need them now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna recycle some of the cards back into the deck, gain some good amount of hit points, life points that are. Then I'm gonna summon Jane. Jane is gonna be able to gain 200 attack points, so I'm gonna be able to get off that pesky Noble Knight, mill 2, and luckily I mill a Necro Gardener. So now he has to be patient about which card he wants to kill, when he wants to kill my Zen mains. So I'm gonna be able to get off Necro Gardener's effect so that my Zen mains remains on the field, which is good. And he redistributes the Noble Arm cards as soon as they leave the field. I'm just gonna be able to get my Zen mains effect, destroy his card. I draw into Monster Reincarnation, which sucks basically, and he draws into Valeris, which is going to screw me over eventually. He's going to get some more life points, gainings, and he's going to use his effect so he can abuse the card once more. And this is just what Noble Arms are supposed to do, Noble Knights with their Noble Arms. Okay, now I have a card to discard for Monster Reincarnation. I'm just gonna... but I mislooked and I thought I had 4 Lightsworn monsters with different names in my graveyard, but apparently I didn't. And this results in, yeah, just a good mistake on my part, which is going to cost me big. Luckily I draw into Garroth, which means I can set him, and if he destroys him and he doesn't draw into a monster, I might still have a chance depending on the card he has face down. But at this point I didn't know he still had Effect Veiler, so Effect Veiler is going to screw me over right here. I still had a good chance of winning if it didn't have Effect Veiler, but I still have Black Luster, but as soon as I summon Black Luster he activates Torrential, and from that point this game is just over. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series of matches, I sure did. If you want to see more of these, just let me know in the comment section below, and see you next time, guys. Bye bye.